Richard Harris was executed in 2017.
What is your professional assessment of him?
You want me to profile a dead serial killer?
Why?
The truth is, he's not actually dead. He and some of the most dangerous criminals the world has ever known. They escaped from a classified prison.
How many?
A lot. We have to get them all back before they kill anyone else.
We're dealing with highly intelligent, malignant narcissists.
Who are volatile and unpredictable.
The longer they're out there, the more dangerous they're gonna become. This is new behavior. They're escalating. But there's something more here. What are you hiding?
The blast was no accident. Someone wanted those killers back out in the world.
The Hunting Party, February 3rd on NBC and Peacock.
Hello, everyone. My name is Heather Hurt with the NRW, where nerds rule the world, and I'm here with I'm getting the entire cast of The Hunting Party, and I'm absolutely loving it. Today, I'm here with Patrick Sabongui, who plays the CIA agent Jacob Hassani. How are you today, sir?
I am well. Jacob Hassani.
Hassani. I'm sorry. It's
all good. You were close. It was one syllable, but yeah.
I'm gonna blame the Southern accent. I'm just gonna blame that.
I'll take that. Yeah. Accepted.
Jacob is a fun character. He gets to play kind of like the dad in this weird hodgepodge family.
Yeah.
Who is Jacob to you? Who was he when you first read him on paper?
I think you nailed it on the head. That was actually one of the characteristics that drew me the most to him, is this sense of being the caretaker, the protector, but also being caught in between worlds and allegiances. Obviously as a shady government operative, there's going to be secrets, there's going to be responsibilities that go beyond the immediate relationships that he's in. But I did like that sense that, he's in the leadership position. He accepts responsibility to be the protector of this team, and accepts the responsibility of the mission. And I think those are qualities that I really like about Jacob.
Mm-hmm. One of the things, to go off of that, one of the things that is so interesting about Jacob is he's also like the one that we almost know the least about. And that seems very, very purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
What makes him so intriguing? What makes him such? I saw a great interview where someone asked you about, or where someone mentioned to you that there was this really weird fine line between good and evil, and I think Jacob is definitely following the path of the good side, but there's still just this underlying shadow. So what is that intrigue? How does he make that intrigue so clear?
I've always been fascinated by skirting that line. And I think when you get into government operations, you get into military operations, national issues of national security, putting bad guys away. It's hard to be purely good or bad. I think you have to be willing to cross certain lines. I think, and with somebody like Jacob, one of my favorite aspects of him is that every episode he's flashing a different badge. He's like, now we're Department of Defense, and now we're Homeland Security, and now we're CIA, now we're FBI. And that idea that he's going to do whatever it takes to put the bad guys away, including cutting corners and maybe breaking laws, I mean, he shoots folks and I think there is a mission clarity with Jacob, that he takes on the responsibility of the success of the mission, and he's going to do whatever it takes. And you have to be willing to transcend some boundaries to do that. And I think all of us in life, we want to break some rules when it's appropriate. And I think that's kind of fun to play, and it's interesting to be able to shed a little bit of light on having to skirt the line of what's right and wrong.
Absolutely. Now, I want to touch on something you just said there. This is not your first your first serial rodeo. You've done shows like Hunting Party before in your past. What makes this show so different for you? You've done you've I don't want to be like you've done this before, but
Yeah,
this show
yeah.
has so many elements to it. He CIA, FBI, DOJ, DOD. What makes this show so special for you?
I think you touched on it a little bit, is that it has so many of the elements that throughout my career I've been able to dabble in, but they all kind of intersect here with the Hunting Party and with Jacob Hassani. I think what I love about this is how high the stakes are. It doesn't get much clearer than these are serial killers who the justice system has already determined should be taken out of society and who have gotten a death sentence. And then for some ridiculous reason, we kept them alive, kept them in some kind of maximum security prison, and now they all broke out. And so the stakes couldn't be higher, and the mission couldn't be clearer. And I think, and the fact that the team basically has endless resources. We're in Wyoming and they're in Colorado. We're like, cool, let's hop on our private jet and then rent a bunch of vehicles. And there are almost no limitations to doing what it takes to put these bad guys away. And I think that's, the clarity and the height of the stakes is really fun for me.
One of the things that I really enjoy about the show is that not even the president knows what's going on, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
let's say that and run.
yeah, I love that. I love how secretive and the twists and turns. You never quite know who's telling the truth, who knows what, and even if the things you know are actually true, I don't even know that I trust Jacob, to be honest. Everybody's got secrets in this.
It's funny, you were not the first person to be like, I don't know if I'm really sure about my own character.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's good writing.
Right. There's one thing I actually watched it in an interview previously with you where you mentioned that you're actually a true crime fan. And I wanted to dig into that. The interviewer was a true crime fan too. I'm a true crime fan. I've interviewed many local area documentarian on it.
Mm-hmm.
What makes shows like this for you so interesting when it comes to the level of true crime fascination?
I think what draws me to it, I can't speak for everybody else, but being a human is complicated. And we all are raised with the sense of right and wrong. And when someone transgresses so drastically and egregiously, and I think we need to understand why. What makes that person capable of breaking the law, of being so violent, of these twisted things that humans are capable of. Part of it, I think, for me, is the fear of knowing that's just a series of choices that person made. Anybody can just all of a sudden decide to start making twisted choices. And then they go out in the world and they do these things, and it's that really fine line of what separates them from me that I think fascinates us and fascinates me, and try to get a real understanding of what was the straw that broke the camel's back that all of a sudden made them go, yep, I can do that. Is it a mental illness? Are they just actually lucid and see the world differently? And so I think it's that fascination of human psychology that we're all captivated by.
Absolutely. And to dig into that very notion, what's really cool about the series is that in almost every episode, we start with the psychological state of the person. We see what they were doing. We see how they were being taken care of in the pit. And that is a pivotal point of us understanding who the killer was and how the pit was being used as a research facility, not necessarily a prison, right?
Yeah.
Knowing that, what would you want the audience to take away from this, and understanding that characters like Jacob, like Bex, they're all here to kind of give that weird gray space for everybody?
Mm-hmm. So the question's, what would I want the audience to take away?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, it's kind of a two-parter for me. One of my favorite parts of the gig is getting to sit back and watch Melissa psychologically profile the killers. because that's such a fascinating aspect of it. And Hassani is not the psychological profiler, so I get to just kind of sit back and listen. And so I think there's a joy in that, in getting a little glimpse and getting a little bit of a course, of a crash course in psychology on getting into their mindset and trying to use that to predict what they're going to do next. But then ultimately, I want the audience to enjoy themselves. It's a fun ride. It's a cool show. It's stylish. It's a high concept. It's got energy. It's got momentum. It's dynamic. It's fun, And I don't know if that's sick or twisted to say, but like, it's so satisfying to like chase the bad guy, and then the odds are we're going to probably catch him by the end of the episode. And I think that's a fun ride, and I'm excited for me to be along on that ride. And that's something I hope the audience takes away, is that you get a little bit of psychology and a lot of satisfaction.
There we go. That's a great way to put it, especially in today's reality. Getting that break sometimes is nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Patrick, for your time. The Hunting Party, new episodes are available on Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern. And on NBC, wow, I'm getting all back mixed up here. On NBC and stream the next day on Peacock. Thank you, Patrick, so much for your time. You have a wonderful day.
Heather. You too.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like nerds rule the world. Like, I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, nerds rule. Love
it. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes, nerds rule. Yes.
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
So much.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.